Me Minor. This is a band who I have been following for quite a while now. Actually, it's been a couple of years, and they just seem to have embodied this idea of doing really interesting, well-structured, nuance-laden rock songs. It's just like the most quintessentially Japanese way. But recently they got signed up and they moved up to being on Sony Records. And so now they're kind of like a major label group. And this is their new song. It's called You're My Cider. Now, this is a particularly interesting title because growing up in the UK, I mean, for me, UK, you grow up, cider is an alcoholic beverage. It's an alcoholic drink. And, you know, it's kind of like, I don't want to give stereotypes, but cider is kind of the thing you drink if you want something a bit fruity with, you know, more alcohol than beer, but also a lower price. So, I know that in most, like in Japan and like most other countries, I think it's seen more as a soft drink with no alcohol in it. So just when I hear this title, I'm thinking, is this going to be like oh, you're a lovely fruity beverage, or you get me drunk? I don't know which version of cider it's going to be, but I'm going to assume based on this wonderful summary opening frame that it's probably going to be the more positive of the two variants. But anyway, I like this band. So I have high hopes, but as always, we'll be honest on this channel. They are doing well. They're doing okay for themselves, up to like nearly 19,000 subscribers, but I think you can go help them. As always, remember, if you enjoyed this, the link will be in the description below. You can go check this out and give them a little bit of support as well if you want to. But yeah, let's find out what this song's like. It's called You're My Cider, and definitely whatever you think of this song, they got a lot of good songs, so do go check out their back catalogue. Let's go. Oh, that is some summer sounds. You're my coffee. Immediately listen to that bass line. Oh wow. Was this a festival or is this just for the music video? Oh, quick into the second verse there, straight into the second verse. As is their signature, just listen to all the layers between the like the bass, the lead guitar, there's so many layers at every moment. And every part of the drum kit's getting used as well. Oh yeah, that. That is definitely a cast audience, Marlo. This song is so nice, the audience is making me laugh though, sorry. Oh, I like that. Cracking the can there on the last note and the little silent speech. Now, because this was so lovely in so many ways, but it leaves you with so many things that you want to actually say. It says special thanks Wem. I don't know, but that immediately gives me the feeling, because they often write their name as capital M E small m. So I wonder, is Wem the name for their fans. Is that what they call their fans? Because that might explain why they have an audience who are, shall we say, unnatural in their choreography. I'll get back to the audience in a minute because that did make me laugh. But anyway, if that's the audience, it's really cool that they call them Wem. But I don't know, that might or might not be what that is. So this song, straight away though, let's get straight to the positives. This does embody all the things that I do enjoy about Me Mine, a bit in a different way. So the positive things that I have to get out of the way, immediately it continues that tradition that I mentioned before, where in their songs, every single instrument is doing something interesting. The lead guitar is not really sort of busting out any complicated solos, and yet any moment in the song you have a little listen and the lead guitar is either doing sort of a really nice little bit of picking to move things along, or it's doing an expressive sort of line where it's walking around, but it never feels like the lead guitar is drawing attention to itself. It just feels like if at any moment during the song you focus in on the lead guitar, you'll be like, oh, it's interesting what it's doing there. And kind of the same thing for the bass. And this just means that their songs have this constant effortless feel to them. Why would I pick the one bit where the lead guitar isn't doing anything? And then I pick the solo. I'm not really picking my moments very well. There you go. It's like there's right down everything there to that last note where there's a little bit of string bending, a little bit of tremolo. There's all these cool little moments on the lead guitar where constantly it's doing something interesting, but also the bass is doing the same. And I've often said this, I am a big fan. If you're going to do a really good soulful or impressive guitar solo that fits with the song, I love it. If you're the sort of person who wants to get out of the bass and do some complicated slap, I love it. But what I love more is bands where you can have all these complex things and they're just subtly in there to the point where they make re-listens more enjoyable because they add that extra little bit of soul and personality layer, just layers of interest to the songs. So again, as a band, I just really like the way they sound musically, the way they layer everything together. And the lead singer, beautiful voice again. I've seen her live a couple of times and somehow she's one of those people where she's like her voice is perfect live, perfect on recording. She's just really that good, and yet she sings in this again very sort of modest way. It's not like a big powerful voice that she projects. She just kind of got a smooth voice, but she's got such fantastic control over it. And the drums again, I mean, I'm gonna say the same thing again, subtle, no big complicated double kick moments or big fills, but she's moving around the drum kit a lot. Like there'll be one bit where she's hitting a little bit of what sounds like a China cymbal, and then using the bell on one of the other cymbals, and then moving around using the toms, and it's all very subtle, but it's in there. And this serves a song which, well, benefits from all those things because this is definitely on the smooth, summery side. This is a song that's obviously designed to have that kind of easy access feeling. I can kind of imagine this on the radio. Moreover, I can imagine this being on the advert for a drinks company. And look, given that they're now signed to Sony, I believe, I don't know whether this already is a tie-in or whether they're sort of gunning for a tie-in, but this definitely feels like the song that could end up on a summer drinks commercial. We're running out of summer months, guys, so get that contract soon. But yeah, this definitely has that feeling. And I felt like the mix in particular had less kind of bite than a lot of their earlier songs. Now, I don't mean that to be critical, but it is quite an interesting change in the way that it's mixed and produced. You know, everything about this, like the snare didn't quite have as much crack in some of their other songs. The beat was a little bit softer in the mix. And, you know, just although, again, this is a band who their sound is formed on subtleties, this felt like all of the mixing was done to give everything a little bit of a more soft and warm feeling. And that works in the summery context, but it is interesting because it's kind of noticeable that it just feels like a little bit of a different mix from their usual sort of songs. However, it does not detract from any of those things that, as I mentioned, still shine through about the song and the band's sound, or moreover, the band's sound. And primarily as well, I don't think it's a net negative because as a summery song, you kind of want it to have that more soft feel. Now, the video... I'm going to say everything about the audio, I love it. The video is good as well, but boy, oh boy, this video really feels like it's directed by someone who does commercials. Like almost all of the shots of like the guy standing there, like the sky and two people standing to the side. This is very standard advert direction fare. It's very much by the numbers kind of advert direction fare, and I don't mind, but it got really funny when we saw the audience because look, I've been to like a billion gigs in Japan at this point, and the one thing I can tell you is that audiences tend to be pretty well behaved, well organized. They're just, it's so nice to go to a show here because audiences tend to be just really great. And it is true, you could have an audience with no front barrier and they will make, most of the time you'll get a good line of people. No one's going to rush the stage. People are just going to enjoy the show properly. However, there's something about this, just the fact that all of the people are gathered here. There's no clear sign of any event. There's no people picnicking over here or anything else going over. It's just like, no, these people are here. They're in a very tightly knit group, which makes them easy to film from behind. If, say, you wanted to do something like a shot like this one, or where is it? No, like this one, sort of make the crowd look a little bit bigger by shooting over their heads. It's really got that feeling to it, and I just feel it's almost a little bit too obvious that everyone's been roped into a square in front of the stage. It's a little bit too obvious. And then we get to this bit, and I love the acting where they're sort of fist pumping, and he's like. But the problem with this scene is that everyone in the audience looks like they've been told, all right, stand and fist pump, fist pump, fist pump, fist pump. And the thing is that, people in like Japanese shows, they do fist pump and they tend to be pretty chill. People aren't always going crazy and stuff. But as a general, that people do look a little bit more active. There's a little bit more body movement and this kind of thing. But it was just funny because I looked at this and everyone here looks like they're not fist pumping because they want to. They look like being fist pumping because they're being maybe directed by someone like. So yeah, I gotta be honest, the video is lovely, but it's very, very, very directed. And I couldn't help but giggle a little bit because you can see the workings on this one on full display. But look, all credit. This is charming. It's a lovely summer song, and the video, despite those rather obvious things, is actually it's charming. I like it. I like the idea of the sort of the usual stereotypical little love story in there, but it's nicely played out. Having them both in the audience standing next to each other, the little silent liney whispers at the end, and then on top of that, you got the song, which, as I say, is a nice, charming take on Me Minor, a band who've always had a very charming sound, but here taking all of those qualities and turning it into something which I think will be a great summer song. And I wasn't even joking earlier. I hope they do get like a drinks commercial time, partly because make money, why not? And second of all, because of the fact that, that's the sort of thing that gets you in front of more people. And I really do think that Me Minor, and just the whole fact they've managed to maintain their writing ethos and the quality of what they do, and it's translated so well into this more clean produced record company backed sound. I think this is the exact sort of band that I kind of want them to do well. I want to see them up there. I've seen them doing like little festivals and things. And I've seen them live a few times, and I want them to just keep rising up the ladder. So yeah, I hope more people see stuff like this. It's not the sort of song that I think is going to totally change the world for like someone who's I think most people have heard this kind of rock music before, but I think this is the sort of thing where if Me Minor are in front of people more and more often, then you're just kind of hearing their songs around. I think it's that kind of band where instead of wowing you with suddenly some really out there surprise gimmick, they're just the kind of band who you can hear them and go, do you know what? I keep hearing this band and I really like them. And I think they're the sort of band who snowball their fans. They like get more and more fans sort of snowballing up to like a bigger and bigger number. So yeah, that's my thoughts on this one. I enjoyed it. Great band as always. Simple, charming, fun, but with all the nuances in the right places. As always, get in the comments to let me know what you think, and until I hopefully see you very soon for the next one of these. For now, ciao, ciao.